Good morning, guys. So it is January 2nd. Apologize for the 5 o'clock shadow. I just got off of 24-hour duty on January 1st, so no partying for me for New Year's because I had to be in uniform and at work first thing in the morning on January 1st. Yay! Well, I'm kind of tired, but I'm waiting on my windshield to defrost, so I thought I'd, give you a little bit of my thoughts on some things. Got my black nectar of the gods here keeping me awake. So I posted a video, as most of you know, I posted a video a few weeks back about the Second Amendment rights, and I posted it on Facebook because I have friends on both sides of the political aisle, and I, like my friends, like to debate, and we're capable of doing it in a professional manner. Well, sure enough, one of my friends latched onto a couple of things that I said in my post and kind of ran with it. Mainly that, one, if the governing entities could, they would use military to do their bidding. And two, I feel Americans should be able to maintain the same quality weaponry as the military. And this caused the conversation to kind of go in high and to the right, and the argument spun off in an assumption that I was implying that I believe that means that civilians should have access to things like nukes and tanks and mortars and artillery and things like that. Really? All right. So originally I created a secondary video to kind of realign the conversation and give my thoughts and clarify. But I ended up deleting it. I decided not to use the post because I didn't feel that it properly articulated the point that I was trying to get across. Now, after happening across a video of the Roanoke City Council giving the exact same argument, I greatly regret not posting that video. So after watching that video, I felt like a flash of heat and an instant rush of anger just went through me. Not because of what he said, but because of what I didn't say. So, because of that video, I decided to remake the video, and this is it. So, first, let's address the elephant in the room. Do I feel civilians should be able to possess nukes and artillery and mortars and things like that? Obviously not. Second, do I think government would use military on its own people? I'll get to that question later. Now, at this point, you may think I am contradicting myself. Or casting shade on military leaders. Well, I'm going to explain myself and in turn show you that I am not contradicting myself. I'm going to do that using a military-based scenario. All right. Now, in this scenario, civilian population will be represented as a fire team, and the military that supports the American people will be represented as support. Okay? So, let's say the fire team is tasked with patrolling a certain road. And all intel points to the fact that the patrol is expected to be uneventful. Not expecting any resistance, the fire team goes on the patrol with just the basic necessities. Their simple firearms, their day packs with food and water in it. All right? Now, they are ambushed, and the enemy has things like mortars, RPGs, heavy machine guns. Now, the fire team is outgunned, and they have, no means of escape. They're going to have to call in for backup, and they're going to have to dig in and be expected to hold their own until the support arrives. Now, back to that second question. Do I think that the government would use military? Unfortunately, I think they would definitely try. And unfortunately, the reality is there will always be a potential for weak-minded leaders out there that I believe the governing powers would or could persuade to do their bidding. Examples of this kind of situation are prevalent throughout history and all around the world. Now, imagine that ambushing enemy is the military that supports the government. They will have all the weapons of the military at their disposal. And while the civilians will have weapons or weaponry needed to sustain themselves and try to hold their own against that, there will also be the military personnel that will be willing to protect the civilians. Now, so, in that, no, I don't believe the basic civilian should have weaponry like nukes and rockets, because they will, in a manner of speaking, already have them in regards to military personnel that are trained to use weaponry properly like that has sworn to protect them. But yes, I do believe civilians should, at the very least, have the ability and the equipment to hold their own as, let's say, a basic infantryman, so to speak. And that it is not going to be possible with things like muskets and muzzleloaders. It's just not. Now, I hope this clarifies to my friends out there what I meant with what I said. And just another side note, this argument that this chairman on the Roanoke City Council is trying to make it's a weak and gross over-exaggeration of the point that we the people are trying to make. And they know it. No one there is trying to make the argument that we should have weapons of mass destruction. But like always, the left want to try and make an American right into an extreme to work to their political advantage. This political fear-mongering and overreach has to stop. And it's only the people, the citizens, that can raise your voice and make this happen. Now, I'm trying to do my part by giving you some, talking points and some conversation starters with your friends by voicing my opinion. You should do so as well. Now, what you should do is get out there and find your friends with differing opinions. Have a productive debate with them. Don't try and change their minds. Because if you go into a debate with that mindset, you have already painted yourself into a corner for that conversation. Simply listen to their translation, their opinion, acknowledge their opinion, then give your point of view. And always come to a debate table with actual, relevant, quantifiable, unignorable, and undeniable facts, not opinions, not feelings. Be polite, be respectful. Don't call their opinions stupid or naive, even if you think they are, because that'll shut down the conversation. The only way to evolve is to keep the conversation open. Just come to the table, the debate table, with those actual relevant, quantifiable, unignorable, and undeniable facts. And remember, a conversation does not have to be a one-time thing. Let them present their facts, then you present yours. Part ways, come back a couple of days later, and pick back up where you left off. Present new evidence that could debunk their facts. Allow them the opportunity to do the same. That's how conversations get deep and how people become more informed. I hope this enlightened you a little bit. Again, if you disagree, feel free to blast me. If you want to throw your 2 cents in, or you want to, give your piece of advice, I'm always up to listen. Thanks. Appreciate it, guys.